Hello and welcome to Diecast Restos and to this 62A Matchbox General Service Lorry. It was produced from 1959 until 1963. Like the other military offerings from Lesney at the time, all 62As were painted olive green. The base connected to the body by a shallow central rivet and a split rivet located at the back. The generic sounding General Service Lorry was based on a real life vehicle, the AEC Militant, which had been produced since 1952. Here's a photo of a Militant Mark I, affectionately known as the Millie. As with most military models, this one had seized axles, so some WD-40 is required to free the wheels up. The casting had no physical variations and no wheel variations either. They all came with knobbly black wheels in one size only, though early versions had crimped axles. These later swapped to rounded ends. It is meant to have a tow hook, though mine has broken off. Not that it really mattered, as Lesney never produced a suitable trailer like a field gun in this era. So with all of the parts dismantled and laid out, I can now remove the rust from the axles and prepare to paint strip. The AEC Militant replaced the AEC Matador artillery tractor that had been used through World War II. 3,200 Militants were built from 1952 through 1964 in both 6x6 wheel drive and 6x4 wheel drive variations. It was capable of carrying 10 tons of cargo in general service format, though it could also be found as a tractor or a crane unit. It served primarily with the British Army, but also with other armies across the globe. All were powered by AEC's 150 brake horsepower straight 6 diesel engine. AEC were the Associated Equipment Company, who manufactured trucks and buses between 1912 and 1979, when they were dissolved by owners British Leyland, who had taken over in 1962. AEC were famed for the original Routemaster London Red bus. Here's the typical TS5 olive drab that I use on all of my military vehicle restorations. I'd forgotten to attach my replacement tow hook prior to painting the base. I've taken a piece of plastic styrene rod, no more than 0.2mm in diameter. I've run this through a flame and bent it to a 90-degree angle to attempt to replicate the original look. This has then been attached to the base using some clear Gorilla Glue. Then, after coating the chunky black wheels in Citadel Gloss Nuln Oil, I apply the TS5 olive drab over the base section. The tow hook is now looking pretty authentic as to how it would have appeared out of the box 62 years ago. Silver trim is always a point of contention on these military models due to the perceived infringement on realism, but here goes anyway. All models came adorned with silver trim on the headlights. However, this was a casting inaccuracy as the headlamps on the Militant were attached below the bumper and later integrated into the bumper itself on the Mark III. In addition, I've also chromed the bumper, which Lesney applied from the factory seemingly at random. Most early models did appear with the bumper highlights though. And so, here is how my 62A General Service Lorry appeared initially. It had a patchy olive paint job, some rusted and seized axles, and a broken tow hook. Excluding the 6 wheels and 3 axles, the model is made up of just 2 components, so this is a relatively straightforward rebuild, aside perhaps for the reforming of the tow hook. Now here is how my AEC Militant makeover turned out. The TS5 is richer and deeper than the shade of olive green used by Lesney, but out of choice I've stuck with this for all of my military models, since my first on the 54A Saracen personnel carrier back in 2019. One day, when I'm done with all the pre-superfast Lesney military models, I hope to show them all off together. I'd reformed the tow hook using a styrene rod and given the axle ends a hint of chrome too, aiming to match the factory look. The front end got some on the miscast headlights and on the bumper as per Lesney's early specification. Nothing on the grille though, oddly. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like or a comment if you enjoyed this brief restoration. Check out my Patreon and YouTube memberships, and please help if you can. Links are in the description below. But all that leaves me to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.